Fallout. So recently
Yeah.
we both completed New Vegas.
Yeah, we did. I need
How
to
do you
start
feel about
again.
that? You've got fresh opinions, fresh from the fresh experience of going
Mhm.
through it again. Did anything change about what you think about New Vegas in general?
Well, so this was my first run that I fully completed on stream over the course of 2 years, which is a long time because I would only play it whenever I wanted to, which is sometimes it would be once a month, sometimes it would be multiple times a month.
Yeah, that's it took
Um,
me like over a year to complete it too. Yeah, over a
mm,
year or so.
uh, okay. I'm trying to think of the things that I learned. So I played it pretty much how I usually play it. But I will say it's interesting seeing how like chat reacts to things because now I'm finally like, oh, I'm not still doing the playthrough. I just finished it like 2 months ago, I think, or last month.
I almost 2 months ago, or a month and a half or so. I don't really
Yeah,
remember properly. I finished it like 2 months ago.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I like rated you when I finished.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. That's why I
But yeah,
remember it so clearly.
yeah. So like, I am a little bit surprised because there are a lot more people coming into chat who are like, fuck NCR, I hate taxes. Like, I wasn't expecting so much like hatred. Like, I thought there'd be like a little bit of like, oh yeah, NCR are kind of like, because they're kind of like the goody two shoes like pick almost. But
Yeah,
I
but
still
they're
like
very
them.
bad at it, and game
True.
makes it obvious they're very bad at being good. But they're
Yeah.
trying. They're
Yeah,
trying.
they're trying more than the other factions. That's kind of it. But I have found it's fun to bully Caesar's Legion fans.
Oh, we got one. Let's go Legion.
It's very fun because like whenever they come in, I immediately like the first thing I'll be like, "Oh man, fascists, fucking, let's go."
Yeah,
Um,
I did notice I think it's like this game is unique in that is that I
mhm,
mean it's not I know a couple of other games where between factions and stuff like there's a lot of polarizing opinions like
mhm,
it's not like oh everyone's gonna side with the good guys or some people like no independence because everyone else sucks like
yeah,
those kind of people
mm,
like there's a lot of polarizing opinions about all the factions and I feel like this game pulled it off really well because a lot of games with that offers you multiple factions just there's none of that. Everyone
mm,
just sides with the same faction because oh this is the only decent faction you have there.
mm. I think New Vegas is really good in that you can actually see people be drawn to like different factions and like different things. And I love I love searching on Twitch for like people playing New Vegas for the first time. Because I have a few things that I love seeing people do. For one, I love when they go to Novak for the first time and they have to like they
Yo,
do boost quests. I love seeing that. I love seeing how people like
the
react
reaction,
to
yeah, to
yeah.
the what exactly happened is like, oh my god, she sold her. Like she seems
Oh
like
my
such a nice
god.
lady.
And
What?
she was pregnant and stuff with the baby. And there's the receipt. And oh my god. And Boone fucking shoots her in the fucking head.
I think that's literally the most justifiable murder I've ever seen in the game. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you
for
know, oh,
sure.
it's she's not innocent. She didn't kill anyone technically. She sold him to slavery, but like, yo, is the solution? Is this justice? And my answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah, shoot her.
Yeah.
Let's go.
She's awful. Fucking Jeannie May. Fuck you. Like there's a lot of like
I
okay, there's a lot
My
of
favorite
characters in the
part
movie.
is that if you kill
Mhm,
Jeannie May, if you actually personally kill Jeannie May instead of letting Boone do it, you can go to
mhm,
the what's the name of the trader in the dinosaur? You can tell, hey, I
yeah.
killed Jeannie May. Do I still get to keep my discount?
And you do
And
get
you
to keep
do.
it.
And his reaction, well, I'm sure you had your reasons. She was a nice woman. Like he's so accepting of it. Such a nice dude.
Right? Oh, hi, Kappa. Hello. Greetings. We're talking about New Vegas. I don't know if you've played that. But like, oh my god, there's so many characters in New Vegas, and like, and of course there are people who love doing like the kill 'em all run. I have yet to do one. I don't know if you've ever done one.
I like some of the characters so much. I can't bring myself to literally go and kill everything. It's
Okay, one character I really love, and I know that this is basic, and some people have no problem killing him. They have no problem killing him.
Who is it? Who is it?
Doc Mitchell at the start. He's so nice to you.
No way I'm gonna kill Doc. No, Doc he saved my life.
He saved your life, and he's lovely.
He's
so
such a good. I mean, he's a good doctor. I mean, who else can treat like a bullet to the head?
Right?
To the point where the dude literally wakes up after a couple of days. Okay, like you would be hospitalized for months if not being in a coma. Now you just put you together in like a couple of minutes. Like, hey, what's you there, buddy? You can walk it off. You're fine.
Yeah. Whenever you see somebody do a kill 'em all run, they always go for Doc Mitchell first, because like he's the first person that like you meet.
You gotta pull the band-aid off, you gotta do it fast. Get the most painful out of the way first.
I don't want to kill him. like I even have like a hard time doing that initial like powder gangers versus the Good Springs people. Because I never want to help the powder gangers in that first one. I'm like, no, the Good Springs people were nice. I don't want to kill Easy Pete. It's Easy Pete.
Easy Pete is funny. Easy Pete is nice. He just he's also very responsible, until you show him that you know how to handle explosives. He's not gonna give it to you. He actually cares for your well-being.
Yeah.
And probably the town's well-being. Maybe he doesn't want you to blow up the bar by accident. That too, but antics,
Have you ever played with mods? Because I've never played with any mods, and people always come in. Whenever somebody comes into a stream, a New Vegas stream, one of the first things they ask me
is this modded?
Yeah.
Yep,
like,
got the same. Got the same.
Do you use mods?
For this run, I have not used mods. I wanted to get, the vanilla experience, but I've used some mods, which is, the sprinting system from Fallout 4. Oh my god, it's so good. I missed it so much.
Sprinting is pretty good, not gonna lie. That's one of the main complaints I get from friends who like get into.
I mean, that's literally why Fallout 4 has it. That's literally why. I mean, the mod was invented, like the sprinting was invented for New Vegas, but Fallout 4 just basically copied it because, oh my god, that's such a good system. Use your AP points as a stamina bar. It's so good. That's why they actually just added it to Fallout 4 because I think it's one of the most downloaded mods for New Vegas. Sprinting, so you could just move a little bit faster.
That's the main complaint. Like, I have friends who will pick up New Vegas because I love it so much, and I'm like, play it, play. And then when they find out, like, the vanilla version doesn't have sprinting, they're like, this is so slow. I'm so used to it, though. I'm just like,
I was used to it. I mean, I got lucky that I haven't played Fallout 4 in, like, years, but I can imagine how difficult it's gonna be to move from 4 to New Vegas because, okay, hot take. Mechanically speaking, Fallout 4 is better.
Agreed.
Mechanically speaking, well, like with the shooting, with movement and everything, it's a lot better than New Vegas. Because if anything, Bethesda did right, it's at least they improved the mechanics, like how it feels to move around and shoot. They did a fantastic job there.
Yeah. I think we touched on this last time we hung out, but you know what? It's been months and months, so I don't care if we talk about things again. Basically, Fallout 4, mechanic-wise, they made a lot of good choices. Fallout New Vegas has better writing. Fallout 4 was really dog shit with the plot and the characters and the choices and just overall the writing was really bad. Exactly.
What choices?
Exactly. No choices. There were none.
It's just the your only choice is the inflection of your voice when you say yes.
Yeah.
You can say, yes, sure, I'll help, or okay, sure, I'll help, and like, ugh, I'll help.
Or no.
Wow, riveting choices. Riveting choices. Oh my god.
There's exactly what you said. There's, yeah, I'll help. I guess I'll help. I'll help. And no. And then in brackets, I'll help later.
Like, I've seen a video about this, like it pointed out like one massive like flaw. You know those railroad in Fallout 4?
Mm-hmm.
You, like you can literally do their recruitment quest, move over to their face and say, "Nah, synths are just machines, and I don't give a shit about their plight. I mean, why should I care about a toaster?" You can literally say that to their face. Why should I care about a toaster? I don't care about the synths. They might as well all die. It's not my problem. And they'll be, "Oh, if you think that, well, we'll still like to have you in our group to help us save the synths." And you can say, "No, I really don't want to help you." "Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll change your mind. We would still love to have you, you know." Like, they are so you literally tell them to the face, "Yo, I'm not gonna fight for toasters.
I'm not.
They're
gonna
not
do it.
people. I'm not gonna do it." And they're still, "Well, you know, you could still help us. Maybe a bit later. Maybe you'll change your mind. Go around.
be
Maybe you'll see the
here."
truth for yourself. Yeah, we'll be here." Like, the
Yeah.
game, like, the developers, like, I understand. The developers want you to see all the content of the game. I can understand that. Like, you're just spending months of crunch time making this part of the game, and imagine no one's seeing it. That's gonna be kind of rough on you.
But that's my issue, because for me,
But I mean, if you even have, you know, want to have the pretension of pretend that the player has a choice, like, let them have a choice of not seeing it. Don't force them
Yes.
into it.
I think that not seeing content should also be content in itself. That you should have like something. You'd be given something. So like if you say no enough times, something should happen. Like maybe you actually can burn bridges. Maybe they can actually like
You know
hate
what that's
and
called?
shit.
You know what's
What?
that called? Replay value.
Yes.
Fallout 4 doesn't have any because you can do everything in one run. Like, why
Mhm.
would you play it again? There's no point.
There's no
Like,
point.
you don't need to restart it because like, I think it's like 4 quests before the end of it. You just get to pick your
Mhm.
faction. You can just reload the save and just pick another faction. You don't need to restart and be evil because you're not evil in the game anyway. You're just
The
being
only
a
time
douche.
to be evil is the DLC, and that's
Which
it. And you can just
sucked.
do that at the end. It was terrible. You just do that at the very end of the playthrough, and you're done. Congratulations. The radio.
The radio, yeah, radio kind of sucked. I feel like this choices of songs there are also kind of limited.
There were some good songs, but not as many as you'd think. You know, like
None of them were as catchy as like Big Iron or
everybody
the
loves
other.
Big Eye.
Everyone loves Big Iron. That's the most like I think that's the only. I think Fallout New Vegas is the only reason that song is known at this time. You know.
I don't like Johnny Guitar though. I'm sorry.
No, I don't like Johnny Guitar either. It's
Oh,
kinda
thank you.
It's kind of meh. I know it's such a downer song. It's a downer
It
song.
is. It used to play at my work. I hated it. It would bum me out every morning because it would play before 9 a.m. and that was when the doors would open. I think it played around like 8:50 a.m. and I hated that because that was the song you would hear before like a big 8-hour shift.
Oh my god, that's so cruel.
Johnny Guitar.
She sounds so depressed. It sounds like
Yes.
there's someone with a gun pointed at her and is forcing her to sing it for the 200th time.
Yes.
She sounds emotionally exhausted singing this.
And we're emotionally exhausted hearing it.
We're in the
Uh,
same boat.
Your options in Fallout 4 are storyless goody two shoes, synth activist, tech obsessed isolationist, and fascist with a blimp. I mean, yeah, I will say the blimp scene was cool. That's it.
I mean, it's the same as blowing up Megaton in Fallout 3. It's a cool explosion you can look at. Or not
Yeah.
look at if you want to be a badass.
Yeah, but you can just look away as the old man watches. I haven't
And
played
they're
Fallout
not
3 in
tech
a long
obsessed
time.
isolationists. They're not tech obsessed. The Institute is just. God, I've never seen a faction so badly written. It's like they
makes
don't
no
have
sense.
motivation. They don't have motivation. They're like, let's do science. Let's replace that man with a synth. Why? I don't know, so we can see what happens. It's literally the reason.
Yeah, literally. They just do things because.
And I hate that they're
Why
just
not?
like, they're not even like like they had so many opportunities. Like I don't know if you remember the farm where they replaced the man with the synth, the father.
Mm-hmm.
And like they could have had like this big moral quest there because they replaced him with a synth and he became a better person. He started working the farm, actually improving it. He used to beat his
Yeah.
children and wife, and
Yeah,
now
he was
he's
a better
actually a
husband and
good,
father.
better husband and father. Like, do you reveal the truth to the? Imagine if she's, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I love this one more. Imagine that.
Yeah. That would have
If
been
you
great.
if you get to reveal
so
it.
many missed choices. There were so many missed opportunities all over the place.
Like, do you
I-
care about your husband who was a piece of shit? Or the synth that looks just like him, has all his memories, but he's just better in every way?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
would you
a
rather
huge moral
stay
thing.
with him or banish him? That's a moral thing.
Yeah.
Like, will you view him as as a human or as your husband? Just husband 2.0, better version. He's got the update. Or will you banish him because he's not your real husband and you for some reason miss that piece of shit that used to beat your kids and you and never did any work on the farm?
Sorry, I'm
Like
just
so
looking
many
up
missed
real quick.
opportunities.
When did? Sorry, okay. I'm just seeing when Soma came out real quick because, like, I think it came out after Fallout 4. I'm pretty sure.
I think it
Wait.
came out after, yeah.
Fallout 4. Same year, actually. November 2015 for Fallout 4. Soma came out September. September 2015. So they were in development at the same time. I'm just thinking about how, like, there is so much they could have done in the story for like moral choices and like to really touch on like shit, and they just didn't. Like
They just didn't.
never got into anything.
For a game that revolves so much around artificial humans and can a machine be a human, they touch that subject so like they're afraid to touch it. They're afraid to raise like the moral question, like the philosophical question. They're like me. Oh no, they're human. No, they're human. The other guys, no, they're just machines. But there's no discussion. There's like no discussion at all. They're not talking about that.
Honestly, so there were a few things I was like expecting when I played it for the first time. The first thing was I was like, okay, am I gonna be a synth? Is that what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get to the end of the game?
Yo,
and it
imagine
turns out it was
that
me?
twist. Imagine that twist. That would have
I
been so
feel
good.
like it might have been. It depends how they would have. I feel like people would have hated that too, actually. They would have been like, and then it turns out you're a synth. But I also expected at some point because you know how you spend so long in the beginning, like, well, you don't have to, but you can like customize your partner to look however you want, and then they just fucking die, like they just dead.
Oh, literally no point to it. I mean, the only point is to maybe make your son look like an abomination.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only point. Even though the game never actually turns them into a real abomination, but it would have been funny if you create both characters, both parents to be like these horrible ghoul-like monstrosities, and your son looks like a deformed something that came out of a ghoul vat.
There's gotta be a mod for
Synths are
that where
mainly
it's just like
organic, and
actually
users of
make the
some
father,
DNA
like
so
your son,
technically Synths
look
are
more
related
like
to
you
you.
guys combined, and then you just make each other look super fucked up. That would be really funny.
You know,
Um,
like I've heard someone raise like this fascinating point that the synths are doomed.
Okay, I'm here. What's happened?
Right.
Like how?
They never specify what sort of disease father had, but imagine if it's a genetic disease.
Mm-hmm.
Some terminal genetic disease. Whose DNA did they use to create all the synths?
Yeah.
That's why they call him father. That means that every single synth potentially has that degenerative genetic disease. That means all their time is numbered. Because they are essentially organic.
Yeah.
They do have they're still flesh and bone. That's why they're indistinguishable. They just have some technical components in their brains. So technically, all of them should have that genetic disease, and all of them will die eventually. And since, I mean, it's never discussed whether synth can reproduce or not, because technically they
They,
might be able to. It's
they just
unknown.
never touched on that. They just never.
Yeah, they
talked
never
about
touched on that because I mean, they're you can literally see how they're made from bones and meat.
it.
So technically, they're all organic. So maybe they can reproduce, or maybe they're I don't know. They're firing blanks. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if that is if they can't reproduce, that means like the entire race of synth is just doomed because their genetic code that made them is faulty.
See, that's interesting. That's actually interesting. Can we just
I
agree
mean,
that this is?
they
what's
never
gonna happen?
specify what he had. Like people just assume, oh, he got cancer, which is ironic considering he lives in the most sterile environment. But ironic, but it could be some genetic disease. No one knows.
Yeah. Wait, they have announced like Fallout 5, like essentially.
They
Like,
did
they're
not
like, it is-
announce it. They announced that they're working on it.
Yeah.
But that's.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Fallout 4 re-release, have you heard about that?
No.
No, they're re-releasing Fallout 4 for next-gen consoles.
Ew.
Skyrim Special Editioning it. They're Skyriming Fallout 4.
Oh, that reminds me, it's Skyrim Day in like 4 days.
Ugh, I can't believe that this is called Skyrim Day. Come on.
11/11. That's when it was released. It's the same day as Pocky Day. So expect to see all the VTubers with like the Pocky art.
Playing Skyrim. Everyone's gonna play Skyrim again. Ugh.
I'm 100% gonna play Skyrim now. I'm gonna be like, it's Pocky Day.
Why are
let's
they
play
Skyrim? I love that this is now a term, Skyriming something. When you just
Yeah.
re-release the same thing.
But you
So
just
yeah,
slowly
I mean, they say they're gonna upgrade the graphics, which is obviously probably gonna steal a mod from Nexus. That's what Bethesda does. And adding a bunch of free content to the mod workshop, like the Bethesda workshop, whatever it's called. A lot of free content integrated into the game. But basically, it's still gonna be the same thing. They're not gonna fix anything. It's probably gonna come over with all the bugs and glitches from the 1.0 version because they never port the oldest version where all the fixes are present. So yeah, that's what it's gonna be like essentially. It's the same thing.
Release it and talk about like water physics.
I mean,
like,
someone literally did a deep dive into the the special ultra mega unique edition of Skyrim, the latest one. And apparently it's the 1.0 version. They didn't even like upgrade the latest version with all the bugs and glitches fixed. They just ported the old glitches in. They never. Apparently 10 years is not enough to fix those bugs. Apparently.
They're features. They're not bugs. It's a feature.
No, you can say that about Stalker games where all the bugs are features. Not about Skyrim. Come on. It just it just works. It just works somehow.
I still haven't played Stalker.
Does Bethesda have like a Q&A department? I really want to know. It seems like they don't have one.
I feel like wait, they don't release their games to like people before it releases anymore, do they? Like, I feel like they avoid. You know when
Of
people
course
release copies
not.
of stuff.
Of course
like,
not.
yeah,
They
early
never
reviews.
do.
No.
No, the early reviews always come out with this. Someone I don't remember who. Young Ye maybe he told like he got a pre-release copy. They had like bold red letters. Be mindful that this is a pre-release. There's no 1.0 patch to solve all the bugs, so expect a buggy mess because we haven't released the 1.0 patch. Okay. So this is gonna be buggy, and then he says, "Well, I got the full release, and it's still the same buggy mess." So nothing really worked, but they put a disclaimer there, warning you that it's gonna be buggy.
Oh my god. Also, wait. Apparently, Fallout 4, Sean the Father dies of cancer. So, cancer in the most
Cancer can be
sterile
genetic.
environment.
Cancer can be genetic.
True.
So
Does
the
that mean
synth
that
might
we-
still be screwed.
That we have it.
I mean, it's possible you have the genetic proclivity to have cancer, but it's also possible that you might never get one because that happens in real life.
True.
Some person, like I've heard sad stories about that. Like, oh, the parents their child gets cancer from childhood, and they find out, oh, it's because your genetics, but they never had cancer. But it's just the way genetics aligned is that the both genes, the cancer genes that both parents had, combined and formed cancer
I
in their
see.
child.
So now I'm just thinking about like all the ways that they could have written like father in the institute and what not better.
Also,
but
I'm sorry, you have like teleportation technology, but you can't cure cancer? Really?
they have
Really?
teleportation technology.
In
I-
in a society that revolves around radiation, you
Mhm.
don't work on a cure for cancer, where this is a literal risk.
Mm-hmm. It's funny what they've like.
It's such a cop out. I
It
feel like
is.
some obscure genetic disease would have been a lot better.
But gorillas, they have gorillas now.
They can create gorillas and probably crow drones, bird drones. You've heard about that theory that all the birds in Fallout 4 are actually institute drones?
Is that based off of the theory that people have in real life?
I think it might be. I'm not sure, but there is like there's some stuff like in the institute. You can read some logs and camera angles that are basically from birds.
Oh my god. I mean, I, Institute does stupid shit that kind of goes into their like MO. Makes
No,
sense. to
institute
them.
does stupid shit just to see if it works. They're literally mad scientists. They don't have any
Yeah.
goals. There's no
Yeah.
goals in what they do.
One of the things, like, okay, I'm slightly waking up. One of the things that pissed me off the most about Institute, and I think we talked about this last time, is that the main thing that the Institute brags about is how they have created artificial intelligence. Like, oh, we have created synths, therefore and like artificial intelligence. Oh my god, like we have done the most amazing thing, artificial intelligence. Let's go. But like, artificial intelligence already existed in the Fallout universe.
I mean, look
Without
at
the
the
Institute.
Enclave. Look at the Enclave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enclave literally had an
Enclave.
AI for a president.
Uh-huh. And there was also as well robo brains, which technically count as like artificial like intelligence. There's AI
I mean,
all
they're
over the
brains
place.
that got reprogrammed to function as an AI. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So like, if your starting point is artificial intelligence and your greatest achievement is artificial intelligence, you haven't
I mean,
achieved
their
shit.
achievements, I mean, when it comes to the field of artificial intelligence, yeah, they achieved shit, but hey, they made robots that are human, essentially. That's an achievement.
And that's really all they like care about there. But like,
That's all they did. And they're not doing anything with it. They're literally not doing anything with it. Like, oh, they replaced the mayor of Diamond City. Yeah, he's a synth.
did they talk about why they did it even?
No, there's no explanation.
So
Like,
they
literally
just-
no explanation. Literally none.
Let's make people robots. Let's go. Like, there's no like, oh yes, our founder wanted to make people robots because of like, I don't know why. Like,
No,
they just
it's
need
because
to have,
so
like,
they could like maintain watch over the town and control the policies, but the end goal is not there. They never specify why they're doing it. Like, why are you're saying that you're not interested in the surface? The surface is of no consequence to you. Like, the whole quest line is to to get that generator running, and the whole segment, we are now self-sufficient. We no longer need to rely on anything on the surface. So why did you replace public figures? Like,
why do you care so much about the surface when you don't care about the surface? Like,
yeah, if you are now self-sufficient and you literally don't need the surface, they're growing their own food. Like, they literally don't need to step foot outside ever now.
yeah,
Why?
Nate is right. Institute is so cagey for zero fucking reason, but no reason. It's just a bad. It is a bad faction along with Railroad. Yes.
And Railroad,
no
like,
sense.
what I hate is I hate being the chosen one. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if it just comes with it. I hate being the chosen one because the Railroad is literally like, it shows how incompetent literally every faction is.
Mhm.
Oh, the Railroad, you've been doing this for years, but you've had not a single shred of success until this one dude showed up and did all your work for you. Same for the Institute.
Mm.
You've got coursers who are literally above human abilities. They're superhumans, essentially, like, according to lore. According to the lore in the game, coursers are literally superhuman. They're stronger, smarter, faster.
Yeah.
But you still need this old middle-aged dude to do your job for you.
Freshly thawed from the Ice Age. He's finally
Yeah,
here,
freshly
let's
thawed.
go.
Probably with brain damage, for all you know. And you're relying on him. Also, goddamn Sean. Like, there's a conversation there, like, oh, I was watching you since you thawed out. And you're like, my question, why didn't you contact me then? If you knew I was looking for you, why didn't you contact me? You're like, I wanted to see if you'll even look for me. Bitch, what? What the fuck do you mean?
What a needy piece of shit. Like,
I wanted to see if the wasteland would change you. Well, why do you run the risk? Just pick him up with your fucking vertibird or teleporting robots. Like, bro. Why risk it? He woke up, just saw his wife getting shot and baby kidnapped. Of course he would look after you. Of course. Just pick him up and there you go. Plot doesn't happen.
Okay, I have to say something, and I kind of want to preface this with, I don't want to be sexist, but what you just said about like the Sean thing about like, oh, I wanted to see if you'd come look for me. I wanted to see if it would change you. That is the kind of that's the kind of logic that really bad girlfriends have when they like when they try and like, it reminds me of like the one where they like try and get like a friend to like hit on their partner to see if they'll cheat. And it's like, I know what you mean.
Oh my god.
I wanted to see if you'd go for it. I'm sorry, but Sean is written horribly. He's written like a terrible girlfriend.
The smartest man in the institute, conglomerate of the greatest scientists, using bad girlfriend tactics. Amazing.
Yes! That's what it sounds like. Like, I wanted to see if you'd even look for me. You watch your spouse get shot, son get kidnapped, then get woken up again, teleport to Science Land, some old fogey starts claiming he's your kid.
I mean, it's the same sort of reaction you get after you go through all the quest lines. Who's this old dude? Why is he claiming to be my son? Same reaction. Nothing would have changed if he had just picked you up and explained to you, oh, yeah, they kidnapped me. I'll set up so you could go kill mom's killer, you know? God damn it, Wolfie, that is loud. Holy shit. He played Coffin Dance. That was loud. And here's the thing. Sean even admits that he set it up in such a way so you'll get to kill Kellogg. Sean admits that he set it up that way so he could get some revenge.
Which wasn't really satisfying. Like, the Kellogg thing bothers me a little bit because you can't not kill him.
Yeah, and I mean, they give him so much character development. Okay, development is a strong word. Backstory. But what was the point? It went nowhere. What, so you'll feel bad about killing him? But there's no payoff.
That was so... And, sorry, I'm thinking about, like, the loose...
You know what it feels like?
Because...
Seeing all the plot lines in Fallout 4, it's like watching different teams of writers fight.
Yeah, actually. And then they randomly get cut off at random parts of development.
Yeah, because the writer was like, "Oh, you wanted to make Kellogg like a cool character? How about you lose this page? Delete."
Like, cause Kellogg, what is it? He gets like put into like Nick Valentine's brain, and he briefly talks to you. He briefly like.
It never went anywhere. It pissed me off so much.
Never goes anywhere. That could have been so cool. You could have had like this whole thing. If you wanted to be like an evil guy, like a bad guy.
Yeah, bring Kellogg back. Erase Nick Valentine's memory and replace it with Kellogg. Or help Nick delete Kellogg from his mind now. Or try to find equilibrium.
Yeah.
A badass Nick Valentine who is more of a merc than a detective.
Yeah, that could have been awesome. And they did nothing. Yeah, Kellogg is a poor version of Benny. He doesn't really even have personality, to be honest, which is funny because they tried so hard to give him like a backstory and shit, and they didn't. Like he still doesn't really have much. Nobody really has much character to them in that game.
It's too on rails. I mean, the only one like speaking of
I
synths,
like Hancock. That's it. I like Hancock, and I like
Hancock is
Nick
awesome.
Valentine.
Hancock is awesome. He had character. Okay, he had character.
Nick Valentine and Hancock were my favorites. I think they were like the best ones. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Like the quest of Paladin Dance.
Ah,
That
Yep.
raised. I mean, it had so much potential, and it did pull off like the talk where the Elder comes in, Elder Maxon, and they talk
Mhm.
about it, and like you can convince him to at least banish him, not kill him, because hey, he served you. He served under you loyally for decades. So what if he's a synth? He didn't know he's a synth. Yeah, sleeper agent, but still, like it had a lot more potential. Also, did you hear about the deleted quest line in the
No.
Brotherhood?
No.
There was a deleted quest line where you could prove that Elder Maxon got Elder status through conspiracy by killing lions, getting her killed on a. They sent her, like, the reason she's dead, she got sent on a suicide mission. But the issue is that it's implied that they knew it was a suicide mission, and they sent her to get killed so they could take over the Brotherhood and bring it back to, the old ideals. Technology ours, everyone else bad.
Yep. Which
So there was a deleted quest line implied for various files they found that you could essentially instigate a coup and vote him out of power and take over instead. And that's how you can get Dance back into the Brotherhood and change their their policies essentially.
see, I like that. I like that.
But it was never in the game, which is sad.
It's always the cut content. It's always the cut content, right? Like
No one even knows why it was cut. It's not like they were short on time. It just decided, nah, it sounds too good for this game.
it's too good. It's too nuanced. Get rid of it. Can't be. Nah. Can't have that. What was it? I still feel like Brotherhood is also misused lately, like as a faction, because in Fallout 3 they turned it into sort of like the heroes, the good guys,
Because
like,
it was iconic, and I assumed
Yeah.
that the writers in Bethesda didn't know shit about the previous Fallout games.
Mm-hmm.
So they just, oh look, they were on the cover art. Let's put them in the game. Let's
put
make
them
them
back
good
on the
guys.
cover art. Let's go, guys.
It was literally just for that, because it's an iconic image. So they just put them give them a more prevalent role. Though, I mean, I can see why they could try being heroes. I can see them, like, they could have written a little bit better. They said, you know what, we decided we could, do a different approach. Let's become the paragons of protectors, and they will bring technology to us. Instead of us needing to go and rob them, we'll offer them protection. Instead, hey, how about you hand over this cool shit you got here, this technological mumbo jumbo that you don't even know how to use? Give it to us. We'll post a couple of paladins here. They'll protect your community.
I'm just thinking, so you know how the covers always like, so you had the first Fallout which had Brotherhood of Steel on it, then you had the second one that had Enclave, and then it changed hands, and then it was Bethesda, so that way it was back to Brotherhood of Steel. But then New Vegas had the Ranger, and then Fallout 4 has Brotherhood of Steel again, because why?
Because Brotherhood of Steel, they love him.
They love.
They
him
have
so
a
much.
blimp. They love him. They have a blimp now. They love him that much.
I feel like what I want, and also because each game seems to have like a different focus, like a different. There's like a different faction that's kind of the focus, or like the main bad guys or something. Like Fallout 1, it's like the super mutants, of course, because they're like the main kind of things that you're dealing with. Fallout 2, Enclave. Fallout 3 is Enclave again.
Yeah, because Enclave, they love Enclave. They literally just they didn't have ideas for Fallout 3. They just didn't have ideas. They just took stuff from the past.
Yeah, they were like, oh, okay, no, we don't know what to do yet, so just rehash the old shit.
Well,
rehash it.
that happened on the West Coast. That doesn't mean it had to happen on the East Coast. Let's just take them and put them here.
Oh my god. Plot 5, bad guys is corporations trying to profit by creating something that's horribly broken.
Gee,
um,
a bit too
I would say,
self-inserty there for Bethesda.
I'm wondering, when are we gonna get, like, the evil ghoul faction?
Nah, you can't. That's racist.
Why not?
It's racist. They can't.
Why not? I thought they were
Because
going to
someone will
Van Buren.
equate it to some group.
No, they were gonna.
They
have
already
Van
had a lot of
Buren.
allegory. They already had a lot of allegories about sins, you know.
Really?
I
It's
mean,
super mutants.
sins are essentially XPs for the the railroad is literally the like
Yeah, the
a
railroad. It's
revision.
the
The
American.
railroad,
There's a whole thing with America.
you know,
is-
the railroad who were releasing black slaves at the time. That's what that was their name.
That's literally why they called them the railroad.
The sins are literally an
I
allegory for
remember.
black slaves in America. It's literally that. How they were
Which-
not viewed as human. Only this, it's robots
Maybe
instead.
that's why they handled that plot so like.
It's a delicate
weakly.
subject, so I can see why they would be
Yeah.
afraid to actually delve into it. But I mean, you're dealing with AIs. It's an entirely different subject completely. You don't have to be like careful about it. Yeah, some people. Yeah, you're using a lot of things that are connected to real life events. Sure, but I mean, the context matters. The context matters.
Yeah, sure, but like, I do remember reading that in Van Buren there was going to be I don't know if it was a ghoul city or a ghoul something, but like basically there was like gonna be like a ghoul scientist that had figured out like how ghouls could ghouls could like procreate and have ghoul children, and essentially that
Ooh.
like that was I'm very sure I read that somewhere. Please somebody like correct me if I am wrong here, but like that I remember being like, wow, that would raise like a lot of issues. That would like because that would mean that ghouls can survive, because ghouls can survive radiation.
Yeah, they're
and live a
immune
very
to.
long
They're.
time.
I mean, depending on the ghoul, they're healed by it to the point
Yeah.
of healing them.
Which feels like it's like almost like a parallel to the first game where the super mutants were all like, oh, we're designed for like we're meant to live in this world, but then it turned out that they can't.
Yeah, they're
reproduce.
sterile, and the master's plan is moot. Like, there's no point. You're gonna replace all the humans with a sterile race that will not go anywhere, and that's why that's how you can get him to self-destruct. Spoiler alert for those who didn't play it.
Yeah, and that was like the whole thing of like Fallout 1, and Van Buren was gonna have this like ghoul thing, which was essentially like that exact same issue or problem, except they're
But
not
a different
sterile.
take. Yeah.
But they're not sterile. Which at what point that would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of hard to deal with.
That would be kind of yeah.
Because
a lot of
can't then-
moral implication. You're gonna take away their right to reproduce if they're like the enemy faction. That has a lot of like moral weight to it.
It does, and that's kind of why like so I understand why it wasn't in New Vegas, because like Van Buren was gonna be a very different game. It was like it just was. But I really do kind of want to see that come back, because I love ghouls. I love them. I think that they're great. And I want to see them do more with it, because honestly, right now, fucking Bethesda is just using them as zombies or Droga for like when you have it's like, oh, now you got to go
I
into
mean,
the
Fallout 4 ghouls are kind of cool. I'll give them that. They made them cool and very threatening, the way they just recklessly rush at you. But otherwise, yeah, it's what's the right word? Wait, morally acceptable targets. There you go.
yeah.
Like, you're not gonna feel bad. Like, they're feral, they're brainless, they're zombies. Just pew pew them, and that's it. Good
Yeah,
job. You got XP.
That's another reason why I like New Vegas as well, though. Because remember, in what's that place? It's right near Novak. You got to go there. All the ghouls are there, and you know.
Oh,
rockets.
the rockets. Yo, what if they come back as a super race because they met aliens? What if they got picked up by actual aliens and like zap dap dap dap? We'll take you back to Earth.
Aliens. Well, one thing that like New Vegas had there is the thing is there are feral ghouls there, but they take them with them onto the rockets, meaning that non-feral ghouls can.
I mean, feral ghouls are not hostile to regular ghouls. They view them as their own.
Yeah, but
It's
like
been
they were able
discussed
to
somewhere.
they were able to get along with them and just sort of like take them with them. At which point that means like, oh fuck. The moral implication is you're killing them, but technically they can be friendly. Technically.
Only to ghouls. I mean, what was it? It wasn't Fallout. Tenpenny Tower questline.
Mm-hmm.
The ghouls that lived in the sewers.
Mhm.
They had a shitload of feral ghouls just living with them there, without any problems. But they just, and if you allow them to take over Tenpenny Tower, there are a lot of feral ghouls in the tower. So those, regular ghouls, they took them with them. They housed them in the new tower. Yeah, so feral ghouls can live pretty happily, normally with regular ghouls. Just like that.
Yeah.
Or imagine someone finds a cure to feral ghouls.
I think that's another thing they were looking for. I think that was another plot line that they wanted to figure
I wish
out.
they would have raised the ghoul question more. Something that
that's what I
Fallout 3 or
want.
4 never... Like, there's a lot of, like, side lore in New Vegas. Like, oh, NCR is looking for ghouls. Like, oh, why are they? Because, bruh, they're people literally hundreds of years old and they know shit. We need them. Oh, look, a car mechanic. Look, we have an entire garage filled with people who don't know what a car is. Can you come over here? We'll pay you so you could teach them so you could fix our cars. Because you actually done it before when cars were a thing.
You actually know shit?
Yeah. Who was it? In Jacobstown. In Jacobstown, there was that ghoul doctor.
Oh,
Like, when you talk to her, she
Calamity.
gives you
She
so
keeps
much...
renaming herself. Yeah.
She gives so much lore. Oh, now I'm a doctor. I used to be this before. It gets boring. So I just switch professions and learn something new every time. Like, what are you supposed to do when you got eternity? Yeah, you're looking rotten and everything, but you still have your mind. Yeah, and then she just changes her name. Now she's a doctor. Back then she was a physician, or physicist, whatever. It's such a lovely little... Like, this small, inconsequential dialogue shines so much more light on the lore of the world.
Yeah, it does. And like, that's what I want. I want more light shined on like ghouls as like. It's weird calling them a faction since they're more like a race of like people in the.
They're
US.
Actually a race because. I don't remember where it was, in which fall it was said that like they are genetically diverse enough to be a different race at this point. Because the radiation changed their DNA to the point where it doesn't match to a human. So technically they're a different race at this point.
Do you wonder if ghouls reach a point where they decay so much that they can no longer move and stuff and just left for all eternity? That would be fucked up.
That would be fucked up, but considering it's been 200 years for some of them, I don't think that's a threat.
That'd be cool,
they didn't. That would be a very, very tragic faction or race, rather. Oh my god, they're just slowly running away while being alive. That is terrifying.
Wait. Didn't in the Fallout 1 in like the Master's place, wasn't the vault kind of like covered in flesh stuff? Didn't he like flesh out everywhere? Like,
yeah, but he used the FEV for stuff on himself and everything.
So that was FEV.
So that's not just regular radiation stuff.
I'm wondering if they'll ever do something like that again, because like usually people love in video games, they love having like the meat location, like where you go to like it's like full of bad guys and the walls are all meat. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Bethesda won't do that again, though, because it's I mean, they're using the FEV just for shits and giggles at this point.
True.
Literally,
true.
The Institute created FEV.
But yeah.
And what did they do with it? What did they do with it? Release some super mutants just for shits and giggles.
Haha, super mutants, yay!
Shit. And they literally created the cure for super mutants. Virgil's questline.
Oh my god.
They literally have a cure for super mutants. It works too.
Yeah, I remember.
Where's the consequences to that?
Yeah, and isn't the deal? It's like, oh man, but like it's rare. We only have like one or something. Like there
But
was
it's
only like one
possible.
vial.
It's
But
possible.
it's
If you
possible
side with the
now.
Institute, you can literally cure You can literally cure one of the biggest menace on like the entire continent, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Jacobstown. Imagine Marcus. He would probably get that cure, maybe, for the Nightkin who are getting like schizo and everything.
Yeah, like that could actually really hit because for some of them they really are like mentally deteriorating. So like it
That is
would
literally
definitely help.
cause for war. That is literally cause for war. Shit, we can come up with a plot for the next game. Oh, super mutants got wind that the humans have a cure. And a lot of super mutants, you get two factions. Those that want to destroy the cure because super mutants are badass. Dude, I'm cool, I'm strong, and
I live way longer.
I live
and stuff,
forever,
yeah.
basically. Why would I want this to be destroyed? And those that are probably West Coast super mutants because they're more intelligent, seems like. Because, I mean, there's Fox from 3, but he's literally the only intelligent super mutant we've ever seen on the East Coast.
That was so disappointing. The fact that they, I swear I talk about this every time we talk about like super mutants, but again, Bethesda just made them orcs. They were like,
literal
oh yeah,
orcs, literal
they're just
orcs.
They're just bad guys, and they're dumb.
They even
they're
explained it
dumb
in
too.
lore. They even explained the lore because their strain of FEV was more dirty. That's why they turned into basic dumbass orcs. It wasn't perfected like the Masters. The Master got the FEV strain and perfected it to basically allow them to maintain their intelligence instead of being dumbass orcs.
Is the Nightkin's issue more to do with overuse of stealth boys and not super mutantness? I can't remember.
No, it's from stealth boys because they're used to not being stared at because they're invisible. So once they're out of stealth boys, people stare. It gives them like severe anxiety attacks because oh my god, he's staring at me. I was never looked in the eyes ever. And now that he's staring, I don't know how to feel about that. So it gives him a lot of anxiety, and which devolves into schizophrenia for some.
I'm now thinking like,
And plus, apparently, stealth boys also produce radiation that bends the light, and that affects the brain somehow.
yeah, I can't remember the science. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it though. I'm fine with the stealth boy lore and everything. No, I just remembered something that has happened or changed or been like announced or revealed since we last talked, which is that Fallout London one. Are you gonna play that?
Oh, I am sad for them. I am sad for
Why?
Fallout London. Bethesda keeps poaching their talent.
Oh, really?
The lead writer of the Fallout London quest lines and everything got poached by Bethesda. Then they poached another quest designer, and I'm like, bro, let them finish the project first, then take the entire team, please.
I didn't know that. Wow. Well, that's
Bethesda
good for
literally
them
poached. I
getting
mean,
a
hey,
job.
Fallout London is probably gonna come out before Fallout 5. So if the writing is good there, it gives me hope for Fallout 5. Because that writer is now working for Bethesda.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. It would be nice to know that like somebody
There's at least
competent
someone
is going
competent
for it.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
If they give her a chance, at least. If they give her a chance.
It's supposed to come out. Yeah, Fallout London is coming out early.
You've seen the trailers, right?
Couple
And the
months.
gameplay trailers?
Yeah.
It looks so
I've
good.
seen- it does. It does look good. I'm honestly surprised. I don't, but the thing is, I still don't want to get my hopes too high up because I remember everybody wanted me to play that Fallout New Vegas mod, and then apparently it turned out to be garbage.
Yeah, there were questionable decisions there.
I don't remember exactly what happened with that, but
One of the writers inserted some questionable things into it, which caused the new frontier. Yeah, the frontier.
oh no.
Yeah, that's the reaction to it nowadays. The oh no, everyone was so excited for it, but then it became quickly yikes.
Oh well. Sometimes
Like you can apparently own a slave, but it's it has a very non-subtle sexual undertone to it, and that character is also underaged.
Oh
and,
no!
Yeah, oh no, that's a big oh no.
Oh no, that's man,
Yeah,
Nice.
I think the writer got kicked off the team because of that.
Looks like somebody was
And
getting
that and
poached by
that stuff was
Bethesda.
removed. And that stuff was removed. Yeah, so many
Red
red
flag.
flags from that quest line. Like insane. Like it's not a red flag, it's a red banister at this point.
Exactly. Yep. Jesus Christ. Wow. Well, I'm a little bit glad to have not picked that one up.